Here's going to be a video of the tools I use to replace my rear struts on my 2000 Toyota Camry. Of course, the Haynes manual. Finally cracked open this Icon punch set. Got some new Mayhew drift punches, but they're just too long, so this seemed to do the job. Just knocked the bolt out of the hole. Little baby loaf hammer. Used the PB blaster. Didn't really need it. It's not very rusty here, but if I'm working, I like to use all the tools at my disposal. 5mm Icon T-handle. Came in handy for the sway bar connection to the strut. 19mm Icon stubby impact was used for the top bolt on the strut. To get that thing off without having to put it in a vise. Bunch of various 19mm sockets, Icon and Koken. The rear struts main bolts are 19, the front ones are 22. In this case, I was able to lay out the tools I actually used quite a bit. I know, but we'll start here with the picks. Use these to kind of get the rubber sheath in place to kind of the bellows when they're connecting the two. Use these two 1/2-inch Koken Neuro grip ratchets, long handle and the short handle. Use this KTC offset 19mm 12-point wrench. Came in super handy to hold the bolt while torquing down the nut for the main two 19mm bolts. This is kind of an oddball one, 16mm gear wrench. I actually keep all these wrenches up here. It's very handy when I'm looking for what size is what. I'm used to using Toyota sizes, but in this case, this is for the aftermarket KYB struts. That's the size wrench to rotate the shaft into place. I used this 12 and 14mm offset Matco 12-point wrench. Came in super handy. The rear strut mounts are pretty tight access inside the rear seat area. Also used this ratcheting 12mm for the same reason. I was not able to get a socket in there. For my new spring compressor tool, it takes a 22mm wrench. I use this Icon open face one, a couple extensions for the 3/8 size, spinners for 3/8 and 1/2-inch come in handy. Use this long handle fixed head Koken ratchet. Disassemble the smaller size bolts on the suspension for the strut replacement. 12, 10, 14 were used. Also behind the seat, removing the rear seat to access the top 3 bolts for each strut on each side in the rear. This, I think, I'd say about the same as the front, but maybe a little easier. I'm not really sure how to compare the two, but use this 14mm ratcheting wrench for the strut bolts on top. Also the suspension linkage. So, used quite a few wrenches in the job today. Had a great time working on the car. Of course, the old trusty blackjack thing hasn't failed me yet. I've had it forever. Got an extra set of stoppers, so I got 2 chalk blocks now, so I'm fully safe. No worries about that. I gotta add a rope to them. Here's those spent shocks. They won't even extend out. Got new lug nuts as well. The old lug nuts were pretty beat up. Here's the part numbers for the rear struts and the top hat. And I hope you enjoyed the video. Last but not least, my new strut compressor tool. This is very cheap on Amazon. I did some research and they all look about the same, so I figured might as well go with the cheap one.